Hey, welcome to Half the Battle. Well, it's been a long time, but we're finally going back. Back to the future. All the way to the year 2000. In the year 2000. In the year 2000. People will hardly believe I'm still stealing this bit from Conan O'Brien after nearly 4 years. In the year 2000. In the year 2000. Everybody will be confident that The Simpsons' 12th season will indeed be its last, so it can go out with some dignity. In the year 2000, in the year 2000, I will be sure that Hermione will finally end up with Harry in the book Goblet of Fire, and not end up with some Bulgarian dude.
Yes, my friends, it's time we got back to Battle Force 2000. Meet Maverick. This figure was released in 1987 with all original body parts. And they certainly achieved their goal with Battle Force 2000 when it comes to this guy. Futuristic looking soldiers. In this case, a pilot. They really nailed the sci-fi concept here. Hell, the first thing that came to mind when looking at the figure was Buck Rogers. He's got a good color scheme, though I would have preferred a color other than green for that bit on his chest and on his feet. It's kinda ugly. Also, there's a gap in the silver between his belt and waist, both in mold and paint. It makes him look like he has a weird chastity belt on. The silver paint used is better than on earlier figures, so it won't rub off so easily. He came with just 2 accessories.
Yeah, most of the Battle Force 2000 guys didn't get much of any equipment.
First, there's this cool-looking sci-fi laser gun, adding to that whole Buck Rogers vibe. It's unique and weird, but I like it. Second, there's this helmet, which looks good, but it also looks really familiar somehow.
It's just I can't really remember where I've seen this thing.
Anyway, this is another one of those figures where you need the helmet to make him look complete.
Centurions! That's where I've seen him before!
I mean, look at it. It's a freaking carbon copy of the blue Centurions helmet. And no, I don't know his name and I don't care. Sure, both may have been based on a real pilot helmet or something, I don't know, but the resemblance is uncanny, especially since they made the G.I.Joe one blue. And yeah, Centurions did come out before this toy. Overall, this is a decent figure, but it doesn't really wow me. It was also the only figure Maverick ever got.
So it's time to move on to the character, starting with the file card.
First I think we should talk about the name, Maverick? Yeah, I'm not sure how they got away with that. I mean, the term Maverick is generic enough, but still, 2 fictional characters that are both ace pilots? Thin ice, Hasbro, thin ice. Speaking of being an ace pilot, this guy has his own plane, the Vector. Only the action figure didn't come with the plane. You had to buy it separately. In fact, almost all of Battle Force 2000 were vehicle drivers that didn't come with their damn vehicles.
It's one of Hasbro's most blatant screw you, give us more money moves that I've ever seen in the franchise, and it still pisses me off today.
Anyway, I suppose I should talk about the actual character, since that's really the point of this segment, isn't it? Well, his bio is nothing like Top Gun Maverick, so that's good, I guess? But then, why is the codename Maverick? The term is defined as somebody who doesn't follow the rules of the group, and that doesn't seem to apply. It's also an unbranded calf, but I don't see how that's relevant either. The only bit that sort of fits is that Maverick volunteered to pilot any and all new experimental aircraft, hence why he got the Vector. The only other interesting thing is that he's been flying all of his life.
Literally!
His mom had a job as a crop duster, using an old Stearman biplane, and instead of getting him a babysitter or something, she just strapped him in, gave him a water gun and a sandwich, and up they went every day.
Yay, child endangerment?
Moving on, Maverick never showed up in the cartoons, but he was featured in the comics. In the regular series, he first shows up in issue 68, along with the rest of Battle Force 2000. He's in like 2 panels, so it really isn't much of anything.
He does get an issue pretty much dedicated to himself.
Special Missions issue 12. In this story, the Joes are participating in an air show, where Maverick strikes up a friendship with a biplane pilot. And they actually use his backstory from the file card to flesh him out. Nice! As he's getting a ride in the biplane, Cobra attacks and steals the Vector. The rest of the issue has Maverick and his new friend track the stolen plane in their antique Marvel, leading to them finding it hidden on a garbage barge. Maverick's story ends in issue 113, where he and the rest of Battle Force 2000 are killed in the Battle of Benzine, with the exception of Dodger. That's probably why there was only one toy of the character, because he, died in the comic.
Thank you, I know death in comic books is kinda relative, but these guys, yeah, they're Uncle Ben levels of dead.
And that was Maverick. Overall, it's just fine, both the toy and the character. The only infuriating thing about him is that he was sold separately from his damn plane. Other than that, nothing really to rave or complain about.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Well, I had to include at least one Top Gun clip, right?
You can be my wingman anytime.
Well, see you next time, everybody!